Town, typical old town, with a number of bars scattered around, you know, some real small ones, no nice places, okay? I've coined this many, many times. I wrote it down in my notes too. The town reminded me of me being from Montebello area, East LA area. Montebello was a nice little town, okay, at the time. Very clean town. Brea reminded me of going over into LA and getting on Vermont. Vermont, 5 years before that, 5-6 years before that, back in the 60s, had the Rust riots. And you would have vehicles coming over, and there was a lot of fires going on over in Vermont area and different things happening and all that. And we had business over there. People owned property. They had called me, some contractors I dealt with. We would take our crews out to LA area to do the work. And we'd go down to Watts and farther down. And I do remember the destruction that went through those areas. Brea was not like that. It was not like Watts. It wasn't like any other area. It was clean, but the buildings were beat up. They had not had work done on it probably for paint peeling off of it, probably for 30 years. So it wasn't a vision that I had that the places were run down or anything like that, but they were messy. Entertainment. The Catholic Church, okay? You had the Carnivals that John McEntee put on, and they started off as a small group. We'd bring our radios over there, sitting around, somebody would playing a guitar, and it was nice. We'd sit around, we'd bring our beers and sit around and talk, and we're all in the same age, starting off, and it was fun. Functions. You had, I think we called it Buccaneer Days, okay? And what it was, they'd have parades along Brea Boulevard with horse and buggies, okay? People would load their vehicles, their trucks and everything else, load everybody on it, and it turned out to be a big carnival. And it was nice. That was starting to bring everybody together because you would have the kids marching down the streets, okay, playing their banjos and everything else, just doing it. Going down to the park, and then all of a sudden going down the park, and there would be a carnival going there. To be very honest with you, when the ball came in, I liked it. I thought it was going to be a great thing. I was 100% for it. By that time, you'd been here for a few years. You started getting to know different people. About that time, I got to know Wayne Woodine a lot better. His son and my son played on a baseball team. And over, not Beckman, Beckman. One of the buildings, there was a field over on Lambert, close to Associated. Not Associated, to State College. That was, we'd get up in the morning on Saturdays, sit down, he'd take his coffee, I'd take my coffee, and we'd sit around, and I'd go out and do my bids on projects on Saturday mornings. It gave me a little bit chance because I was still kind of working with the tools and everything else and setting tile myself. And it was a lot of fun meeting different people, okay? And I think that was the best thing, because Montebello was a nice little town. It did have its quaint little things on it, but everybody went in different directions. When all of a sudden here in Brea, we started meeting everybody. You know, my wife would get involved in different stuff. The kids would be involved in their stuff. It brought people in from all over. I remember when they started calling Brea the TriCity, because it was tied into LA, it was tied into Riverside, San Bernardino, everything was tied in right in the corner, locked it all in. And I think that was one of the greatest things. Whoever coined that back in the years, okay, was fantastic.